For the first time since 2015, your Baltimore Ravens have fallen to 0-2. Only the second time ever under John Harbaugh that's happened, as the Las Vegas Raiders walked into M&T Bank Stadium and walked out with the W. 26-23 was the final score of today's game. And there's a lot to get into. You could tell by the somberness of my voice, not a lot of great things to get into. A lot that we need to ask questions about, that we need to talk about, conversations that we need to have. And we're going to have them all today on Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm your host, Joey Petersen. And if you aren't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Right now we're sitting at 18,527 subscribers. We had so much fun, even though it was a loss today against the Raiders. We had such a blast on that watch party. I was live with anywhere from 500 at a time to 1,000 at a time of all the best flock members in the country. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be live for every game for the season. You get daily videos, so on and so forth. Hit that subscribe button, and we will get into it. So 26-23 was your final. It was a very different looking second half than first half, right? Let's go over some numbers. Just final game numbers. Gardner Minshew ended the day 30 for 38, 276 yards with a touchdown. He also had an interception. Zamir White and that whole running game for the Raiders just really couldn't get it going. Into the day with 9 carries for 24 yards. Davante Adams, man, my number 5 of when I said, okay, how are you going to beat Las Vegas? How do you beat Las Vegas? My number 5 was make sure Davante Adams doesn't beat you, and he had a really good game. On to the Ravens. Lamar ended the day 21 for 34, 247 yards and a touchdown. Derrick Henry, 18 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown. Lamar also had a pick as well. Zay Flowers, 7 receptions, 91 yards, and a touchdown as well. I'm going to start with just blanket statement of nobody escapes blame. Okay? There's going to be people that are saying, fire John Harbaugh. There's going to be people that are saying all these things. Okay? Lamar Jackson sucked, blah, 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 whatever. Nobody escapes blame from this game. Not a single person. Maybe Odafe Oweh, maybe Kyle Van Noy. They had really good games. We'll get into them in just a little bit. But this is a game that I need everybody to take accountability for. Because not only did you lose, but you lost to a team that is going to have a top 4 draft pick in the NFL draft this year. The Raiders, they're not going to win more than 6 games. And I know that sounds ridiculous coming from a guy who covers a team who just lost to the Raiders at home. But they're not better than you. And they walked into your home, and they beat you on your home turf for your season opener. And they dominated you in most phases of the game. Besides running the football, they couldn't run the football to save their lives. But those final 3 drives of the game, it was like we couldn't stop a nosebleed. It was easy. The second half, Gardner Minshew outplayed Lamar Jackson. There's no debating. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He did. And I'm not also going to stand here and say Lamar Jackson's the reason we lost this game, because that's not true. He did throw an interception at an inopportune time, but he kind of fit it into a really good tight window. Just Rashad Bateman dropped it. But Lamar said it in his press conference just 20 minutes ago. We need to figure out how to find a way to win games. We need to find a way to win games. And that's what they haven't been doing. They haven't been finding out ways to win games. Because the past 2 weeks, they've had chances to do so, and they haven't. Last week, you look at that and you say, okay, 2-time defending Super Bowl champions, going up against one of the greatest coaches of all time, going against one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, Patrick Mahomes. But this week, you look at this one, and you have first-year head coach Antonio Pierce on the other sideline. You have Gardner Minshew on the other sideline. And it's at home. There's no excuses. None whatsoever. I don't want to hear any from anybody. Coaches, players, anything. Because there's no excuse for the way that game ended up. There's just not. Flat out. What's your one-word reaction for tonight's game? Or for today's game? I would say my one-word reaction is embarrassing. But you guys let me know in the comment section down below. Love chopping it up with you guys in the comment section. Love going back and forth with y'all, talking to y'all about the Ravens. Really is one of my favorite parts of my job. So you guys let me know in the comment section down below. Now, before we move on and continue to talk about this game, I got to give a big shout out to today's sponsor, and of course, that is GameTime. GameTime is the place to go for the best seats at the lowest prices guaranteed. And if you're excited the season's finally here and want to get tickets to the big game lockdown, you're going to want to give GameTime a shot. GameTime is the only place that I go when I'm trying to get tickets to any NFL or college football game. GameTime actually has a new feature called GameTime Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. GameTime Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching for thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deals, including great and amazing deals, which are the highest value seats at the time. For some events, GameTime Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the best seat value in the venue. And there's so many things that I like about GameTime, but I have to say my favorite thing about it, bar none, is the fact that you get the views from your seats. I can't tell you how many times I've bought a ticket to a sporting event and I get there and I don't really have that good of a view, whether it's because of an extended press box or a high railing or just a random pole. You never know with these old stadiums. And I'm like, okay, I wouldn't have spent this money if I had known this was there. With GameTime, you get to see exactly what is going to be there before you even buy the ticket. So head over to GameTime and take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, terms apply. Create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download GameTime today. What time is it? It's game time. Wow. Okay, I don't know where to go next. I think I'm going to talk penalties because this has been a common theme in the past two games, that penalties and sloppiness, especially on the offensive line, has been something that's kind of bit us in the butt. And far too many false starts, whether that's by offensive linemen or even by Derrick Henry, who had two really bad ones. Far too many mistakes. There were far too many times where even though Max Crosby's a dog, he's back there in 0.3 seconds. Now, I will say, I think the offensive line was improved from last week to this one. I really do. I don't know if you agree with me. I don't know how you feel about that statement. You might be like, Joey, you're out of your mind. But I do feel like it's been improved. But you got to clean up the sloppy mistakes. They're costing you too much in these games. And I know the pass interference with Devontae Adams and Brandon Stevens at the end of the game could have gone either way. Looked like Devontae was causing just as much contact with Brandon as Brandon was with Devontae. Late flag, hate to see it. Like, absolutely game-crushing, right? But still, you got it. I know he's one-on-one with one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, but you've been in the league a long time. You know you can't do that. You know you can't make those plays, right? And I look at, and there was a point where I was so confident that we were going to win this game, right? You go up a touchdown, or it might have even been more than that at this point, excuse me for forgetting. And then they get the ball back, drive down the field, go for it on fourth down, and get stopped. And then you get the ball, and you're thinking, okay, we go up 2 scores, this game's over. And then Lamar throws a pick. And again, I'm not picking on Lamar. I'm really not. But I don't need him to be Superman sometimes, okay? I don't need him to throw it in the tight windows. I just need him to hit guys in stride. That miss early to Mark Andrews. I know it's ridiculous to be calling back to something that happened in the first quarter, but the miss early to Mark Andrews was a big miss. Okay? I need him, and I need everybody to be better. That's John Harbaugh. That's Todd Monken. That's Zach Orr. That's everybody included. I thought Harbaugh's game management was atrocious at the end of that game. Absolutely atrocious. I thought he also threw a challenge flag in the first quarter or the first half when he didn't have to. Right? I think just everybody needs to shape up. You look at that second half, I think that's one of the worst second halves of football the Baltimore Ravens have played in the last probably 12 years. Right? Because even when Las Vegas got a turnover on downs, they were at like the 25. So every time Las Vegas touched the ball in the second half of that game, they kind of drove it with no ease. It looked easy. I could say a lot. I could say a lot more. There's so many things going through my head right now. But just at the end of the day, this team is better than this. Okay? This team is better than this. I have concerns with the offensive line and their run blocking. It's been 2 games in a row where the Ravens really have not been able to run the football. That gives me a little bit of concern. But just at the end of the day, I don't think everybody's playing to the level that they're capable of. I don't think everybody's coaching to the level that they're capable of. And I don't know if this is the exact wake-up call needed, but it's here. And you got it in this one. So wake up. You got Dallas next week. You got the Bills the week after that. You got Cincy the week after that. This was supposed to be the downtime in these first 5 games. And you wasted it. And now you're 0-2. Okay? Now you're 0-2. I saw a stat, too, at the end of the game. This was, I believe, the 5th loss with a 7 or more point lead in the fourth quarter in the last 5 seasons. And that's like the most in the NFL. So I need everybody to take accountability. That's John Harbaugh. That's Lamar Jackson. That's Derrick Henry. That's Ronnie Stanley, Andrew Voorhees. Everybody take accountability and get better. Because you still got a long season. It's not over. I know a lot of people want to sell their stock. I know a lot of people are upset. I'm upset too. But at the end of the day, we all know deep down this is a good football team. We know that. Okay? It's not over. I promise you that. Dallas got embarrassed by the Saints today as well. 2 teams are going to be playing next Sunday that just got their pants pulled down on national television. Who's going to come out on top? I think we can. I think we will. And I hope we will. So before I go, you guys let me know down there in that comment section, how are you guys feeling? What's your confidence level in this season? Okay? I think I was still sticking after the KC game at about an 80. I think it lowered it a little bit, but I'm still at like a 72. Okay? I know, like, you're probably thinking, what on earth gives you, like, the right to have that much confidence even? But I still feel okay. It's going to be okay, guys. I promise you that. Tune back in tomorrow. I'll be back with a little overreaction Monday for you guys. I'll be here all week, and I'll be live again next Sunday. So if you haven't already, join the flock, subscribe today, and you guys have a great rest of your Sunday.